Hello students, this is Professor West again. I would like to give you some guidance on putting together your topic proposal essay for your upcoming literary research paper, the final paper that is due, and you will exit this course with flying colors. I do believe that. All right, so let's make sure that you all understand exactly what you have to do in this very simple assignment. Although I realize you may have questions because it's not every day that you do literary criticism or writing, and not all of you, or if any, are majoring in English. So this might be your first time doing a serious literary paper. All right. So if you go into the folder for the topic proposal, you will see that I have my handy dandy graphic organizer broken down into four sections four sections, starting with your attention getter, and you know the strategies that we use for that: quotation, use of a question, a startling, maybe a literary quotation, some dialogue from a piece of literature. You may already have decided what you're going to write about. What I do recommend before you absolutely decide is that you look over the remaining two units, the Black Arts Movement and the contemporary period. Just skim and scan to make sure you won't say later, oh, I wish I had done James Allen McPherson, or I wish I had done Amiri Baraka, or any of the other great ones that I have listed for you to read. All right. So in your introduction, you want to use that attention getter. I want you to refer to keywords in the course and state whatever your interest might be. I have some suggested words and phrases there from which you could select. All right, second part, and I want you all to make sure that you use a transition. Each one of these rectangular forms on the organizer represents a paragraph. That means you need to indent. You need a transition between the first and second. All right. And so in the second part, now normally, and actually you could put your proposed thesis at the end of that first paragraph, but about here in the proposal is where you should write a claim, a working thesis, if you want to call it that. All right. And I do have some suggestions or templates and examples for you to follow. All right. This actual proposal is based on a form that is used by scholars in professional writing. So you are getting an early glimpse at what it takes to write a proposal for an actual conference. You may have a class in the future on the professionalism of your given major. And so this is the type of proposal you would do for literary scholarship. All right. So think about what your thesis is going to be. Think about the literary devices you're going to use as a tool to investigate your particular text. All right. What literary devices does the author use to convey a particular theme or pattern in African American literature? All right. What are the questions you want to answer? All right. You can actually write those out. Write them as questions. I wish to explore, for example. what do you want to show about the text? All right. And then here is where you're going to go into Galileo at some point. I want you to take a look at the academic articles that are available. I do have a handout to provide for you. I want to specify which academic databases you are to use. This is not to be a paper in psychology, social work, although you might see a text in that way, but this has to be a literary paper. That means you're going to pull from databases such as Literary Reference Center, Literary Lion, Literary Online database, the Modern Language Association, that's what MLA stands for. So you're going to look for the MLA International Bibliography, and there are a couple more that are very good. So I have those written out for you. All right. Now I want you to work smart and not hard. Don't think of your final paper in isolation. I want you to think of the final paper plus your media presentation as a package. And so in the third part of your proposal, you're going to explain the presentation tools you will use. Now, because of the current situation, we are experimenting with all types of technology. Think about what you're going to do, all right? It does not have to be Prezi. It does not have to be PowerPoint. You might think of a unique way to share your presentation with the class. But it does have to be audiovisual. That is one of the course outcomes, all right? We'll have to make a change with the next part of that. Will you have handouts or brochures because we're not meeting in the classroom for you to distribute any physical artifacts. So just ignore that part of the organizer. The next part is very important, all right? I want everyone to take a deep breath. There are lots of things to stress us out about the lack of internet service, maybe the pace of it. It might be a little slow. Understand that this will get done in some way. I'm willing to work with you, all right? So I'm talking about the next part, proposing a timetable. All you can do at this point is to project when you will get things done, all right? But when you're planning a project, you want to have a time management plan. Specifically, look at your calendar, all right? So your due date is around May 3rd, 4th, all right? May 3rd to the 4th, all right? Grades are due into the registrar by 5 o'clock on May 12th. I am flexible, but do not wait until 4 o'clock on May 12th to send me your paper. That's what I'm saying. But I will be flexible if you don't get it in on the 3rd. But at least have a plan. So you look at your calendar, and this is where you're going to apply what is called backwards planning. So you know how, if you're a good typist, it won't take you maybe but 3 days, 2 days, maybe 1 day to type up your paper. So include your typing time, the time to send it to Smart Thinking for a review. All right, that's 24 to 48 hours. All right, so when are you going to actually go into Galileo to get your research done? You will be pulling at least 4 scholarly articles from the databases which I specify. To pull from any other databases will result in a lower score. I want you to understand that these sources have to be literary criticism. All right. I have in recent lessons referred to criticism by some of these authors themselves. Anne Petrie writes the novel as social criticism. Zora Neale Hurston, The Characteristics of Negro Expression. Feel free to use these as scholarly articles. That is research. Right. Okay, any questions about that part? Let me know by visiting the office hours, Mondays and Wednesdays, 1 to 2 p.m. Lastly, the very last part of this proposal is that you might tell your reader, well, what will you get out of this? So suggest benefits to your reading and listening audience, all right? Your audience will be your peers in the classroom. It will be me, all right? So what will we gain by attending your session? By this time, I think I might have enough nerve to try WebEx. It is working. All I have to do is click Start Meeting. It's already set up on your calendars. But I like the convenience right now of just using the chat. It's like in church. You come as you are, and you don't have to worry about how you look and any of that. I think we save time in that way. So let's continue to use the chat, though, until it's time for our presentations. All right, any questions? Reservations? Shy to get on the camera? All right, we'll see. Okay, and then lastly, you bring your conclusion into the picture. Bring the proposal to a close with contact information. Thank the reader for considering your proposal. Just imagine that you're writing to a real magazine or a conference, and you are pitching, okay? Mass comm people, you know what it's like to make a pitch. That is what this proposal is. It is a pitch on how you're going to get that last A for African American literature, English 2222, spring semester 2020, with Professor West at Savannah State University. Take care, students. I look forward to reading your fantastic proposal and project ideas.